Don't forget to check out my website. New Year's readings are available there. You can book a personalized New Year's reading for yourself or for a loved one as a gift. See you there. So let's see which word we're going to be working with today. Okay, so this one is care in English, gondoskodás in Hungarian. And now that Christmas is coming up and everybody is focusing on their interpersonal relationships and the trust and the good experiences and the connection that they have with other people, this word seems to be pretty relevant. Now, at first glance, it might seem like it's a really obvious and straightforward thing. You care about another person when you do X, Y, or Z. There's this idea that around the holidays, the best way to care about someone is to get them some kind of gift. Or it's important to spend time with them, or you can care for those who are in an unfortunate situation by giving to charities or what have you. But I would like to ask the cards what the best way is for us to care about ourselves now. So we're turning the focus back on ourselves, because that may be a question that does not get asked often enough. So let's see. What's the best way for us to work on caring for ourselves? Self-care. And we have the Four of Wands here. The Four of Wands is about community. And so the best thing that you can do for yourself during this time is to look for those kinds of communal or group events that truly resonate with you. So oftentimes there's an obligatory aspect to many of these social gatherings that are organized around this time. At least in my country, that's how we do it. When it's a family event, you have to show up. Otherwise, you're considered rude. And oftentimes, it's not even about whether you want to go or not. It's about being there to show that you care. So it has less to do with caring about yourself and more to do with that group. And the real funny thing is that sometimes everyone is trying to care about the other person and shows up in a place, in a social gathering for that reason, but nobody really wanted to be there. Everybody did it for the other person. So that's kind of comical. But back to what the Four of Wands is trying to impart here as a message. I think the message is that in order to truly build yourself up, to allow for your confidence to grow and for your identity to become more strong and well-defined, it's very important that you look for communities, for networks of people where you can really be yourself. And that sounds like an empty phrase, but what it truly means is that you don't have to design or calculate or strategize every little step, every little thing that you say, where you can be free in your expression. It's one of the base needs or realities of the self that it's looking for a pathway to express itself. And in many of these formal or forced gatherings, you're not allowed to express yourself freely. You're not allowed to be the creative spirit that you are because it's inappropriate somehow. And so to counterbalance that, try to spend as much time as you can in the context and with the people that respect themselves and respect you enough to allow for that free expression to exist. Now, how do you do that? Let's say you don't have that kind of community around you. I think many people suffer from that lack of a tribe, of a community. So what do you do then if that's not available to you right now? Okay, Seven of Swords. In that case, the Seven of Swords is saying that it's better to escape and to avoid situations that would limit you. It's better to stay alone and to hide if you have to than to be forced into a situation which exceeds your capacities, which breaks your spirit. It's so much better to act in a morally despicable way, or at least in a way that is perceived by certain value systems as unacceptable. Let's say, let's stick to a Central European example. At least in my country, it is an absolute imperative that you eat and you eat and you eat until you explode in such social gatherings, especially around Christmas time. It's very rude to reject food. But let's say you're on a diet or you're just not hungry or whatever. According to the moral code of that specific cultural subset of people, that cultural subgroup, it would seem rude and inconsiderate that you don't even try the food, but you just don't want to. So from their standpoint, you're committing a faux pas. You don't have to see yourself through that filter. That's what the Seven of Swords is saying, is that you can separate yourself from the moral imperatives of the group if the only group that's available to you is one that does not allow for free expression of your soul. So don't be shy. Don't feel guilt for not living up to their standards if that's the key to your freedom in that moment. Feel free to go against those norms, those expectations. And spending time by yourself, if that sounds like the best way of caring for yourself, withdrawing yourself from toxic situations, or we don't have to use that word, maybe that's too strong, but withdrawing yourself from unfavorable situations or unpleasant or uncomfortable situations, if that seems to you at that time like the best way to care for yourself, is completely fine. So that's a legitimate form of self-care, even if there's value judgments or these preconceived notions of impoliteness or rudeness attached to these actions. It's better to take them than to suffer at the weight or under the weight of these limitations. So if that's the only form of freedom that's available to you at this time, feel free to choose the lone wolf strategy of the Seven of Swords. Otherwise, if you are so lucky that you have groups around you which reflect your soul expression, then make sure to spend as much time with them as you can. Thank you for watching. See you next time.